Hi everybody. I thought that I've shown you a few times now how to do a slow stitch collage, and this time I'm going to show you me making one of my own kits that I sell. This one is based on a forest theme, and for those of you that find it difficult to source things, this is a perfect opportunity to have it all curated for you. And what you get inside is a piece of fabric here. I'm just sorting out whether I'm going to make a booklet, and then this time I think I will. It will be a book cover. So little swatches of fabric, interesting fabrics of all different colours that fit in with each other. Some are embossed, some are batik, some are hand dyed, some hand dyed laces to fit in. It's all in there. Lots of little snippets of lace and yarns and things like that too. All kinds of things, you'll see. So as we go, at the moment I'm just doing what I do. As it's a book with the spine there, I would not want to put very many things there, so I'm just putting a light gauze on that area because it would be going around the book. You don't want anything that'll stick out and be too bulky. So here I go, and I'm putting a pattern beside a dark one. I am spreading out. If I've got another dark, I'll put it in a different area so that they're not all together. That's a nice bright one. That's actually a linen gauze, and we have all kinds of ones here, so I'm just trying it, and then I try a different way if I don't like it. But eventually I'll end up with something that I do like, and will just watch me for a little while trying all these different ways. And I'm going to speed it up here so that it's not quite so boring for you. And here we go. Let's watch. I do like to fray some pieces. I love the frayed edge. Here's one that I have hand dyed using a eco dyeing kind of eco printing, and that is an upholstery fabric. And here we've got this, oh yes, that's a delicious gold kind of gauze, shiny. But it's all to do with our theme, which is forest. And yes, there's laces, hand dyed to match, included in there. One of these fabrics that I really love, that's part of it there, is like a bark on a tree, which is what set me off on this particular theme. We've got gum leaves, we've got, just green and brown and beigey colours that just suit a gum forest. So now when I'm sort of happy with it, I'll get the glue stick and I'll give it a little dab underneath just to give it a hold. It's not holding it very well, it's just holding it a bit so that we can then pick it up without worrying quite so much that they're all going to fall off. You can change this around, it's not that hard to glue. And you might want your frayed edges over the top, or vice versa. Don't forget that if it's a book cover, you want to have your right hand side as your focal area that you like best. Maybe that's the one that's going to have all of the bumpy objects on it. But you just keep adding and subtracting until you find it is as you like. What will we do now? Pins. Not entirely convinced that that glue is going to hold, so just a few pins here and there to hold it for me. There. Now also in the kit you'll get some threads, stranded threads, and also some metallic threads. But here we go, we've got a needle. I'm taking that out, and here's the threads, all to match. Lovely matching colours. That's the gold metallic. It can not, but if you use it delicately, use it just for a seed stitch or a straight stitch or something not too complicated, then it's lovely. It can add a little bit of shine and a little bit of highlight for you where you want it. So I like to use a single thread when I'm starting, unless later I want to make a darker line. My first stitches are normally just a tacking stitch through, you know, trying to get 3 or 4 in a row so that they're held down. But I also have couching threads in there, which are, you know, a thicker wool or a yarn or a decorative specialty yarn of some description. So I could use that and couch over it, and that would be my way to hold down my pieces. You just keep going, adding a little here and a little there, and the whole idea is that you don't have to be neat or tidy or perfect. It's just for you to have fun with and make something unique for yourself, something to be proud of. So here we go. I'm just going to do a quick in and out here, a bit of a running stitch. There we are, speeding up again. I might do some going across, I might do some crosses. I could do anything here just to try and tuck it down in a way I like. I've used a fairly neutral colour just to start with until I feel confident. There. When you finish with one colour, you go through to the back, give it a couple of stitches on top of each other, and that's your ending off. I'm going to do another patch here, up through the centre there, across. But we just keep going like that. It's a lovely textural piece. You'll find you've got some very heavy fabrics and some very light. And it's up to you how you want to put it. Here comes the threads where I'm thinking about maybe doing some yarn couching. And I'll just continue on. Now don't worry about stitches. There's also a little booklet included that shows you how to do it, how the stitches are used. Sometimes, you know, this will be your work. This won't be like a pattern, but all of the pieces are there and the ideas are there. Just to keep you, make sure you've got all the tools you need to get going. Don't forget you can turn your work around as you need to. I find it easier. Depends whether you're a left or a right hander how you want it. But there we are. So here's a lovely yarn. This one is a eyelash, I think. So you can put it somewhere. I really like it when it's got a twist. So I like to just attach one end and then I'll give it a twirl as I'm couching it down. It just sort of looks like little trees to me, like a little fir tree. So whilst I'm doing it, I'm going to join those two edges down. So I'm couching and I'm sewing down two edges. Perfect. I'm trying to give it a little twist here and there. And I like to spread colours, you know, from one area down into another. So this green was very like the green linen that you can see above. That's one of my hand dyed pieces. And I'm bringing it down to bring that colour down a bit into other areas. So that's why I'm couching there. And here I decide, oh, I don't have to be in a straight line. I can go across if I want to. So I'm doing that. and I've got a nice little curve there leading around to my flower. I'm not particularly worried about doing things very strongly, or I can always sew as much or as little as I like, but if it's something that's a book, for example, it might get quite used, then I'll probably go back and I'll do extra. You know, I might just do more decorative stitches or count something else down or whatever. But, you know, if it's going to be used a lot, you probably want to have it quite robust. Through to the back and ending off again. Here's another nice decorative yarn. It's a smoky kind of teal colour. But keeping in mind where my spine is going to be, I'm just doing that just to the right. So it's going to be on the left of the cover, very close to the spine. And I do have these lovely bits of, that's a hand-dyed silk flower I've got. The yarns, I've got special laces. And that's what I'm doing. I'm thinking, you'll find I do that quite a bit. I'll just sort of put things down and think, oh no, maybe, or yes, or I'll come back to it. Here's another place it can go. You know what I mean? It's like, it's not just one idea and it has to be like that. It can be many ways. And I'll probably change my mind many times before the end. But I'm really not that bothered. Now here's this lovely fabric. It's got this little circle that's raised. Parts of it are shiny, parts of it aren't. It's got it all. These are interesting fabrics because you don't want everything to just be flat. I like it with some shine and some not and some rough and some finer fabrics. A beautiful print. I want it all in there. There we go. So I'm going to take that one down there and just couch it quickly. I put the needle in one side, go down a bit, and I take it across to the other side, over top of the yarn so that the yarn is held. You can use a decorative stitch to do couching. You could use a chain or a blanket stitch or any number of ones. You could do crosses on it. As long as it holds it down, nothing really matters. Ending off. There we go. Will I put that there? I hardly know. Maybe a button to end that. It wouldn't want to be on the spine, be wasted. Same with that. That's on the spine, you see. So no, I've changed my mind. Do I really want the flowers so close together? Don't know. Like I say, it'll just keep changing. Here you can see I'm putting that little green bit of it's a couple of leaves that off a central stem, and it's green, but it wouldn't go on that because it was too dark. And now we're looking at my little booklet that I've included, and I had some pages upside down, so I'm shuffling. There we go. Very organized I am. But that's a great little book, and it shows you pictures and it shows you diagrams of how to do your stitches. So you've also got the cover that shows you the way that I originally did it, just for ideas. But this is your baby. I'm just going to add in a little fern here, or a leaf. And I just want it to look like it's, you know, belongs to that flower. It adds that flower. Also, that's a white plain kind of area, and that gave it something. Go with something nice. Might even do another. And trying to hold those little bits of the petal around. And now I'm looking at some of my other yarns that I'm going to couch on. That's a nice velour one. I do like a spiral. I do like curves. I like joining the colours up using these things. And there's that green leaf again, that trim. I want it to be on a light colour background, or I'm not going to notice it. I think that's why I'm playing. I don't know whether you're going to pick this up, but I'm grabbing some of that gold now. I have a very dark square there, a nice chocolatey brown. You're not really picking it up. It's got a nice little pattern in it, but it's very dark. So I'm using that gold thread and I'm doing a little seed stitch, which helps to take that nice gold gauze over into it, but also adds a bit of highlight, just so that it's not one big blob. Alright, and so I've also got, in amongst all these threads, we've got a black thread. I'm using some very sloppy crosses here just to show you that you can, to join all of those down quickly. Where will I go now? They're still worrying about that. Oh, I like that. That might be it. You know, it's very relaxing and very pleasant to just not have a plan in mind and to just happily go wherever it flows. So right here, I'm going to do, once I get started, I'm going to do, that's a chain stitch. And it's a detached chain if it's not joined up into a chain. So you can do that separately like that, or it's the same stitch that you use when you do a daisy. So if you did it like that, so that they all came from that central point, then you'd have a little flower. Well, you can see with this one here that I actually did it incorrectly. I twisted my loop so it didn't sit prettily. So I just used the tip of the needle to undo it. I'll go back to it. There. I'm not a great one for feeling that things have to be perfect. I don't think flowers are perfect. So therefore, it doesn't matter. But using that dark colour, can you see that we used it on the light? And that helped break it up. That it also travelled from that dark colour square over into the light and just helps those colours blend to do that kind of thing. Don't you love that spotty fabric? As I've said it before, I am a fabricaholic. I do love fabrics. I love textures. I love colours. I can get very excited about the smallest bit of fabric. So here I am looking at how would it look. You know, if it's a book, it's totally different. You look at it folded like that. You see, that could be my back. Maybe. Just looking for ideas. Yes, that would be nice because that would bring in a bit lighter colour there. And here's our front. That's going well. Now I can see that. That's pretty good. Decisions. So what I am going to do is, seeing though I've shown you how I go about it, I'm going to show you one that I did previously. This is the one that's photographed, and it's the one that has the cover picture in the kit. See, all joined up, lovely, looking pretty good, I think. So now I'm just grabbing a book just to give you an idea what it would look like. So that edge folded under, yeah, not bad. Could be a lovely gift. Not very much on the spine, just so that we can go around that curve, that corner. I did use gold thread. I don't know whether you're picking that up on the screen, but it is there. See, and that's the picture. And here's the one we're doing now. Can you see how it's different? But it really looks nice. And that's what I want. People to do their own individual work. You don't have to get a kit. You can certainly do this yourself. Find bits and pieces from op shops. Find them from friends. Use your own collection. But mostly just have fun. Thank you for watching. My name's Tracy Campbell, and Art Fibre Stitch is my business. And it's a pleasure showing you what I do. Thank you. If you like, just hit subscribe and you'll know every other time I pop something up on YouTube that I find of interest. There's plenty more interesting things to come. I don't only like slow stitch, I like all kinds of crafts. Thank you.